Roguelikes. We love them, sometimes hate them. The genre of games we're failing is actually good. But there's so many roguelikes, so which one should you play? Well, I made a list of 10 roguelikes that you need to be playing. So regardless if you're a newcomer or veteran, there will be something on this list for everyone. Also, big disclaimer, I'll be referring to everything as a roguelike, even if it's a roguelite. And all Steam links can be found down below. No need to thank me. Have you ever wanted to swing a sword? How about a sword holding a sword? No? Okay. How about shooting a turtle holding a sword and a gun? No? Damn, you were hard to convince. But this is Voidigo. From the same people who brought you Repo, Voidigo is a twin-stick shooter bullet hell. If I could summarize this game in one simple word, it'd be chaotic. But oh my god, is it fun. The developers are straight off the kitchen cooking up this game. You don't just shoot regular guns like some other games. There's literally a weapon for everything. Cats, axolotls, a goose named Honky Thomas? If you can imagine it, chances are Voidigo has created it. Voidigo embraces chaos and unpredictable fun. You can play this game hundreds of times and still find insanely weird weapons. Can you believe this game is only $2? So give it a shot. This is the most recent addition to the roguelike genre, Peak. This game is perfect for friends. I cannot suggest it enough. If you're anything like me and have grown tired of those other friend slop games, Peak does things completely different. Instead of using the same copy and paste format of exploring a creepy dungeon basically forever until you die, Peak has a hard win condition. You and your friends have one goal while playing: reach the peak of the mountain. It sounds simple, but one wrong move can send you plummeting 1,000 feet to the bottom. In order to reach the top of the mountain, you obviously have to climb, right? But this game completely revolves around its stamina mechanic. Climb for too long and you'll slip right off. So make sure you have enough energy before doing anything too risky. And most importantly, stay fed, healthy, and far, far, far away from harsh conditions. Because the more damage you become, the less stamina you'll have, which will make climbing the mountain almost impossible. But quick little fun fact, can you believe this game was basically developed in 4 weeks and has sold over 1 million copies? Another big win from Aggro Crab and Landfall. High-octane gameplay that makes you feel alive, sensational rock music that throws you into the world, and precise gunplay that makes you feel unstoppable. This is RoboQuest, a roguelike that borders on a movement shooter. It follows the typical roguelike formula, but somehow feels fresh. RoboQuest never feels boring because it doesn't bog you down with unnecessary information or advanced strategies. All you do is shoot your gun and kill robots for fun. Holy shit, that was so cringy. So as you flick between your foes and dodge their bullets like you're in the Matrix, or get up close and personal with the shotgun and blast their robotic brains out, rest assured you'll be locked in while playing. But something in common between most games on this list is that no matter how many times you die, you'll still be progressing. That's a roguelite. Losing is actually winning. You get to unlock new characters, guns, and other upgrades to make your experience worthwhile, and soften the blow anytime you do lose. The same can be said in RoboQuest. But even when you're struggling, you can still change the difficulty right where you start the run. Why need aim training when you have RoboQuest? Picture this. You have daddy issues, your parents are divorced, and you want to run away from home. And that's exactly what you do. But instead of calling the cops, your dad, the god of the underworld, sends bloodthirsty goons to kill you over and over and over again. But that doesn't stop you. You're gonna keep on trying, because thankfully, you're not alone. You actually have dope-ass aunts and uncles from Mount Olympus to send you blessings, which give you insanely diverse powers. This is Hades, a game where you need to fight your way out of hell as Zagreus, Prince of the Underworld. It's a roguelite, so don't worry about being bad. No matter how many times you die, you'll always be getting more powerful. This is a perfect game for beginners, or people who somehow skipped on 2020's Game of the Year. Tons of replayability, amazing characters with actual voice acting, and even romance, if you're into that sort of thing. Also, Hades 2 is right on its way as well, with a ton of new content. Dude, Melanoe is so cool. If you're anything like me, you try to stay away from strategy games because either 1, you don't like puzzles, 2, it's too slow, or 3, if the screen isn't flashing with 40 different colors every 2 seconds, you're gonna fall asleep. But Slay the Spire is the highest rated deck builder for a reason. This game transcends explanation. It is crafted to such an expert degree that no matter how much you hate card games or strategy games, you will find something to enjoy in Slay the Spire. As you go through your run, you collect different cards that all have unique effects. You can have a multitude of different builds. You can go balls to the wall aggressive and only pick attacking cards, or play like a turtle with defensive cards to slowly chip down your enemies. Slay the Spire is the Mount Rushmore of roguelikes. It set the groundwork for successful deck builders. You can see its influence almost everywhere. This game is such a banger. It even has a best-selling board game. It's seriously unstoppable. I have a question. When you were younger, sitting in the passenger seat, looking out the window, did you ever imagine characters running alongside your car at top speed, flipping over obstacles and flying in the air? Well, in Haste, you play as that character. The name of the game is Speed. You're gonna be flying through tiny cracks, zooming past trees, explosions, lasers, the like, but slowly collecting a handful of items to work towards a personalized build. The riskier and faster you are, the more sparks you'll get to spend at shops. So instead of launching yourself over the entire level, you need to weave past a claustrophobic maze with one exit. There is literally no other game like Haste. It's one of a kind, a speedrunning roguelike. Doesn't that just sound cool? Look, I have an insane bias because it really feels like this game was made for me, but I do not care. The game truly makes you feel like the protagonist of a speedster movie. Did I mention they also added limitless multiplayer? So if you guys are trying to play or talk about roguelikes, join my Discord server. Balatro. A game where you can gamble without the actual consequences of gambling. This game has exploded within the past year. I'd honestly be shocked if you've never heard of it, but most of you have probably had at least one Balatro phase. Basically, you play poker, but throughout your run, you can get jokers, which widely affect how you play. It's honestly a masterclass of somehow transforming people into little babies who clap and drool over big number and cool noise. Don't worry, I'm the same way. In Balatro, you normally want to focus on one hand. I'm a trashy flush enjoyer, but you can make overpowered builds with any type of hand. Full house, high card, straights, whatever you want to do, it's probably possible. You'll never be held back either. The scores go up to numbers you cannot physically fathom. So the skill ceiling isn't the game. It's actually how hard you want to go into perfecting decks and hands. It is a masterpiece. This is Ravita. You play as a young boy, stuck in a time loop, going through the 5 stages of grief, but not in a figurative sense, in a literal sense. You ride a train up a spiraling clock tower to get to different sections of grief. Denial is dark and gloomy. Anger is hostile and poisonous. Depression is cold and dark. But don't think you can accept your traumas so easily. You'll have to fight for it. The premise alone is dope, but that doesn't carry the game. Everything else does. The combat feels natural and easy to pick up. The atmosphere is immersive, and the enemies and bosses are super well designed. But the big twist is how there's no currency in the game. In order to get items, you need to spend your own life. The more hearts you spend, the better items you get, but the riskier the fights become. This game is a perfect encapsulation of risk versus reward. It's a hidden gem that deserves more spotlight. Nubby's Number Factory. I am fully convinced the dev for Nubby was off the toadette shrooms while making this game. Insane graphics, MS Paint logos, and everything is in Comic Sans, but it is undeniable how addictive this game is. All you need to know is that you're a factory worker who needs to send this freaky ball, Nubby, down to bounce off other balls. You rack up points for hitting as many balls as you can, but you can also earn points from items as well. This game is just so unapologetically itself, and honestly, I respect it for that. It really doesn't do it like other games. It's different. Also, scaling in this game is outrageous. Yes, this is the same game. This is a niche edition, but regardless, a positive thing. The game is so quick to open, it takes little to no space. So open up Nubby while queuing up for some other game. Waiting for a teammate to revive you? Or just need to zone out for a few minutes? Runs start and stop so quickly that you won't even feel bad if you have to close the game. Also, it's $5. So maybe instead of buying that Discord Nitro, drop a crisp Abe for hours of fun? Look, I know this is only a list for 10 games, but there are some amazing roguelikes out there. And if you haven't found anything interesting yet, I bet my left nut something here will. Because I value your time and I love you guys so much, I'll explain them all in one sentence. So subscribe. Transition. The Binding of Isaac, an all-time classic where you have to kill your mother and then yourself. Patch Quest. Mount your enemies and use their powers against them. Risk of Rain 2. Crash land onto a planet to collect a crazy amount of items in order to take down Mithrix, the king of nothing. Spelunky 2. The most unforgiving game ever, but super fun. Cobalt Core. A strategic and fresh spacecraft needs to be piloted by none other than furries. Emberward. Create a massive maze for enemies, and then blow them up amidst their confusion. But now, finally, the last game. Spiritfall. There are no jokes here. If you came to this video with any intention to buy a game, this one should be in your cart. Spiritfall is, get this, a platform fighter. It is the Smash Bros of the roguelike universe. Combo your enemies and spike them to the void. Use a moveset that feels right to you. There are tons of different weapons and you can customize them all. The game just feels so fluid and easy to pick up. You'll probably enter flow state and start easily destroying every level you come across. But as you progress, you can completely modify your moves and abilities. At first, your boring dash can suddenly become an electrified teleport. so you can smash and attack one enemy and instantly appear behind another to knock their lights out. Or maybe add an effect for regular attacks that wound enemies, making combos much easier to hit. Spiritfall is also followed with some roguelike elements, so even when you die, you can unlock some new buffs that'll make your future runs much better. I can go on and on and on about this game, but I'm making a full-length video on it in the future, so subscribe if you want to see it. Hopefully, I convince you to try at least one of these, and if I miss anything, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all.